good road trip, Coach. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Absolutely. Showdown coming up this Saturday in Lafayette with App State coming in town. Take me back to Statesboro last Saturday when and how your team performed.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, it was a great team win. I thought, in particular on defense, I thought we had an outstanding first half, held them to 90 yards. They really challenged you.
Wow.
Discipline, very much kind of a zone option concept. I know LSU's very familiar with Georgia Southern, haven't played them in that opener, but we gave them 13 points in the first half. We muffed 2 punts and had a horse collar penalty that kept a drive alive, but I was very impressed with our defense. And certainly offensively, we only punted once and scored on every possession outside of that. So a good, solid team win, certainly very competitive venue, a lot of history and tradition there. And they've got a handful of athletes. Their quarterback was back, the one that was injured against LSU. So certainly having him back helped them move the ball a little bit more effectively in the second half. But good team win, and excited about moving on to the next one.
Let me reset, Coach, and your SID is not the best in the business for nothing. My man Patrick Crawford is live texting me, and I made the mistake. The App State game is October 9th. That's going to be a midweek game down in Lafayette.
That's exactly right.
So now with the time off, how do you use this part of the schedule?
Well, we're basically going to have 2.5 practices here, bonus practices, if you want to call them that, a little bit of extra prep time. We are going to give our players an additional day off during fall break on Friday. Our kids don't have class on Thursday and Friday. But we're going about our work week like the normal week here. Yesterday, today, and Wednesday, we're going to treat it just like we do play on Saturday. And then we'll regroup and have kind of a Sunday format type practice on Thursday, give the players a day off on Friday, and then kind of reset the clock. You go to Wednesday, treat it like Saturday and count back. But great opportunity for UL, and certainly a great opportunity for our team to play on national television. Great opportunity for this community, all Ragin Cajuns, to come to Cajun Field and represent this place. And I think it's going to be a terrific atmosphere, and we look forward to competing against these guys.
Yeah, and Coach, I know that, and rightfully so, that the coaches kind of have to approach every game the same and whatnot. But in case the people don't know out there, I mean, you are talking about in UL, the defending Western Division champions going up against the defending Eastern and Conference champions in App State. You already knocked off one 10-win Sun Belt team in Georgia Southern last week. There is more on the line for this one, just from a conference implication kind of standpoint. Do you try to address that with your team or kind of engage with that at all, or do you try to completely ignore it?
Well, I don't think we're going to have any problem getting our guys motivated. We played these guys twice last year, certainly went up there in the regular season and played a really tough competitive game, and then also in the conference championship game last year. So, we won't be lacking for motivation. The key for us is going to be channeling all that emotion and that energy into the right things as we have time to prepare. We got to do a really good job putting ourselves in position. Good plan for our players, and then our players have got to do a good job checking all the boxes as we get closer to the game, maximizing every meeting, every walkthrough, every practice rep. And certainly, once we get to the game, having the poise and the discipline to execute.
So we're talking to head coach Billy Napier, head coach of the UL Ragin Cajuns, and tell us a little bit about this App State team, right? This is a team that beat a UNC team that just took Clemson to the wire, so the law of transitive sports property said they're probably pretty damn good. What is it that makes them so good?
Well, they finished in the top 25 last year to end the season, and they basically – I would say 80% of their football team is coming back. They've got 4 out of 5 offensive linemen, both tight ends, all the receivers, the running back and the quarterback, and then on defense, it's much of the same. They do have 2 new corners, and they did graduate a couple of the defensive linemen. But they were a deep team last year, and certainly got the core of that team that finished in the top 25 back. They did defeat North Carolina on the home field, and very capable. Their quarterback is a dual threat guy who, is preseason the conference player of the year. They've been picked to win our league, unanimous by the media. So this is a talented team. I think Coach Satterfield, who's at Louisville now, has done a really good job of establishing the program. And Drinkwitz is their new head coach. He's got a new staff, and he's inherited the players, very veteran group, and certainly going to present a number of challenges for us.
I know it was week 1, but I believe LSU scored in their first 6 possessions against Georgia Southern. You had a chance to watch them on film. Does LSU's passing game look as real to you as it seems like it is to the fan base over here?
Well, I'm very impressed with the quarterback, and certainly, LSU, as far as I can remember, has always had terrific skill. And I just think they're using their skill. They're spreading the ball around. And certainly, when you can throw it, you cause the defense to worry about that. It makes it a little bit easier to run it. So I think they're balanced, and certainly got a terrific group of skill players. All the players catch the ball well, not just the receivers. And the Burroughs kid, very accurate, and looks like he's very comfortable in the system, processing well, anticipating well, and they continue to get better. You can see them improving in their playing style. I think some of these are getting some short fields and working well together in all 3 phases. So they've got a good football team, and certainly exciting to watch them as they work their way through this SEC gauntlet here.
Cajuns are 4-1, first in the Sun Belt Western Division. They'll host Appalachian State next Wednesday night, a week from tomorrow night. It'll be on national television on Cajun Field.
Let's go.
Get down there and support the Ragin Cajuns. They're one of the hottest teams right now in the country. Top 5 offense right now with Coach Billy Napier in college football, and he's with us every Tuesday morning. Thank you for the time, Coach. Enjoy the time off, and we'll talk to you before the showdown next week.